Namaste everyone.
Namaste.
Let's start with the session. All of us, let's sit comfortably, sitting straight, either in Sukhasana or sit on the chair, sit upright. Check your sitting bones, roll your shoulders back and collapse any tension which is there in the shoulder area. Feel the chest, the opening of the chest. Exhale and just collapse all the tensed muscles there. Breathe in and feel the connection with the tip of the nostrils. Feel the air. Exhale completely. Feel the air. Feel the breath moving in and out. Keep watching the breath. Join your palms and Namaskara Mudra. Feel the connection of the palms. Let's chant 3 Oms with Prarthana. Breathe in. Om. 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 Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Aarti up to unmute.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्माध्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञं स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
Namaste everyone. So I think last time we covered the Jaya Vijaya. So meanwhile, when let me sharing the screen. Just hold on one second. Yeah, are you all able to see the screen of the book? 1 second, I'm not. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, correct, right? Yes.
Yeah. So last time we were looking at how Jaya and Vijaya, how did he, basically the whole story is starting from creation. Creation happened, and then Varaha Avatara came here to bring Mother Earth out of the waters, the ocean. And when he was doing that, when the Lord came up, that was Yajna, was born, there was an Asura on the way who was Hiranyaksha that he had to defeat to bring Mother Earth out of the waters. And to defeat that Hiranyaksha, who is this Hiranyaksha? Why did Lord Varaha have to fight with Hiranyaksha? That when that question was asked, then the whole story of who was Hiranyaksha, and how did he come to be, started, and that's when this whole Jaya Vijaya story comes in. Actually, Jaya and Vijaya are the doorkeepers of the Lord Vishnu at Vaikunta. And when Sanat Kumaras come there, they come to meet the Lord, but the doorkeepers have a little bit of ego that they are the protectors of the Bhagavan Vishnu's sleep, and that little bit of arrogance that they are the protectors of the Bhagavan. Instead of their thinking that the Bhagavan is their protector, they are now thinking they are the protectors of Bhagavan's sleep. So little bit of, because of that little arrogance, now they stop the Sanat Kumaras, and the Sanat Kumaras do not like it that they are move away from the Lord and go into earth and not be with the Lord anymore. And are you able to hear me clearly? Is it breaking? All fine. So, and then when that happens, then Lord Vishnu comes out.
I think
Breaking.
Aarti, you are breaking. It looks. Check your network once. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, because does someone else want to take up? I will just set things right here in the meanwhile.
Sure, sure. Basically, yeah, when a touch of arrogance came into the Jaya Vijaya, and when Sanatakumara tried to enter, because I think Aarti also covered last time that how even when Lakshmi was about to enter into the Vaikunta, even at that time, the Jaya Vijaya with the touch of arrogance had even blocked Lakshmi, and Lakshmi had even went and told Vishnu, "What is this happening here? See, these gatekeepers, they are look at their arrogance." And Vishnu said, "Just wait and see." So, and that is how now Sanatakumaras, as you would have seen last time, how they felt that yes, you seem to be having a touch of arrogance, and we curse you. That we curse you to leave the Narayana's abode, and then you are going to be entangled with Kama, Krodha, Mada, and all the other evils. So you are going to be born in the world of men where you are going to be entangled with these things. And that is how we are going to be seeing the incarnations of Jaya and Vijaya, where they are going to be entangled with the Kama or with the Krodha as the major Arishadvarga, or the Mada, or the combinations of other things. So, and then they said, and they got so upset about it that Jaya Vijaya felt that how can we be away from Narayana? And that time Narayana correctly comes there, and then Sanatakumaras, that time even Sanatakumara suddenly felt little awkward, thinking that, with their, how can they, they have cursed the doorkeepers or the gatekeepers of Narayana. Narayana is sitting inside. So they had a tinge of embarrassment, but Narayana knew internally that they had that embarrassment, and he pacified them. He said, "What you did was very, very right. It is not right for these Jaya and Vijaya to kind of be offensive to a Brahmin, to Brahmins like you all. What you did was very, very right." But Jaya Vijaya, they're all in remorse, and we know how ever compassionate Dina Bandhu is Lord Vishnu. So when he saw that Jaya Vijaya is remorseful, they are feeling that yes, they have done a mistake. He says that you don't worry. So there is mention that he give them two choices: either you have 7 births thinking about me as Narayana, or you are born in 3 births, and you are completely hating me. That's it. Absolutely hating me to the ultimate aspect, and you are entangled by this Kama, Krodha, and Mada. And Jay and Vijay, they thought over it, how can we even possibly hate Narayana? But we know what it is after only 3 births. So I think it is achievable. So we will come back very soon to Narayana himself. So finally we are hating Narayana. So anyway, the Narayana is there, but it is, instead of the love aspect, there is a hate aspect. So, and that is how they leave, and slightly ashamed of their themselves, they leave. And we are going to be watching now how and you know that we all have discussed that first birth is as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashyapa. We went to see how Diti, Diti had them in the womb. She was so worried about, and then finally the sons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashyapa, they were born to Diti. They were the twins, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashyapu, and their birth was attended by several evil omens. Everyone knew that these are the dreadful the two men here, or the two Rakshasas or the Daityas here, who is going to create some ripples or the agitations or volcanic eruptions in the great calamity in the world. So we are now moving on to the 25th chapter, the killing of Hiranyaksha. Bala wants to read it? Yeah.
There is no disturbing noise, right? Is there any?
No, nothing.
The killing of Hiranyaksha. The brothers grew in strength and power. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they are talking about, right? Yeah. They worshipped Brahma. They performed severe tapas and pleased the creator. Hiranyakashipu wanted immortality as a boon. Brahma said that he could not grant it since he himself was not free from the sting of death. The Asura then modified his words. He said, "Then grant me this, Lord. No god should kill me, and no man should kill me. Nothing that has been created by you should be the cause of my death. No weapon should be capable of hunting me. No living being or a non-living thing should be able to destroy me. I should not die in the daytime, nor during the night. I should not die on earth, nor in the sky, not inside my house, nor outside it." Hiranyakashipu thought up all the possibilities and asked for immunity from them all. "So be it," said Brahma, and vanished from there. So this is our popular, no? One thing that I really liked here is Brahma said he could not grant it since he himself was not free from the sting of death. So generally that is what is said, right? We can give only what we have. So whatever, and even in our spiritual whatever progress, when we come across great people, we think, just because someone is scholarly, they are not able to give that, in presence of a very sattvic person who has that experiential knowledge, is only able to give that, right? Only that we are not able to get from someone who is scholarly. So that experience, or who has lived up to that, who has that, just by their presence, it just gets to the others very beautifully. I just remembered that here.
There's also a very clear difference between a prayer of a Daitya or a Danava as well as a Deva, right? So there so many people, fantastic masters have written about how we all pray, right? So and very beautifully, I think many wonderful quotes of masters are there, that most of the time we have to inspect our prayers. Here we have seen, right? Here the tapas was performed, but it was not God-centric. It was ego-centric. So that is why we can do Raja Yoga. We can do Jnana Yoga, gain knowledge. Then you do Raja Yoga, all the aspects of Raja Yoga. But most of the time it is not, like Raghuramji beautifully says, the streams of yoga, most of the time it need not be even God-centric. It could be ego-centric. Most of the time only the Bhakti Yoga path, that it is absolutely God-centric. So, and that's how he actually takes the discussion forward with Bhakti Yoga topic. Whenever the stream of Bhakti Yoga, he starts like this. So here itself, we see that how an Asura or the Rakshasa or the Asuri Sampat, that is what is the Asuric nature within us, could do our prayers. So what kind of a prayer are we doing? So there are many stories about, right, that what kind of a prayer we are doing. Oh Bhagwan, give me this house. So give me a night, and this time no, I want a Mercedes Benz. Next by 2023, I would like to get one more lakh in my salary. By 2000 financial year end, I would like to earn one more. What do you say? BMW car. Okay. So we have, what are these all called? Materialistic prayers, right? Oh Bhagavan, do not give me any disease at all. I just absolutely do not give me any disease. Make sure that my in Varalakshmi Maha Puja, we keep thinking, people think that Varalakshmi means only wealth is coming. So let my house be just showered with lots of gold coins. So what kind of a prayers are we doing? So that is where we might have to keep rechecking ourselves. So is it like an Asuri type of a prayer, or what kind of a prayer? Very beautifully, Mother and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and all, they always say a prayer where you ask something about yourself is egocentric. A prayer when you to say thank you, O Bhagavan, you are only saying thank you because you have given. When you say the, oh Bhagavan, some people say no, please என்ன மட்டும் காப்பாத்து. தமிழ்ல what is the English translation? Only, please save me only, oh Bhagavan. Okay, so like that, and we hear such things, right? But actually, oh, please show me your grace. When we say that, immediately it needs to strike us when we are all in Bhagavatam class. Hari, he is always showing his grace. Remember Kunti Stuti, remember Shukamani Stuti, remember all those people, how they say everyone, he's always showering his grace. Only thing is, we are not aware that the grace is there when we speak, when we talk like that. So here is where we have to remember what kind of a prayer I am doing. Hiranyakashipu's prayer has some motive. So is my prayer having a motive? Is my prayer having some goal in the head? And then asking, it's like in the towards the financial year end review happening, and by that time, before the review happens, many of the employees, they start working very well, so that they get a very good review, whether it is meet expectations or higher than the expectations, right? So I remember my husband saying, suddenly the employees are all fantastically working, because why is the tapas happening? The tapas is for that goal. And what is that goal? So that I get to meet my expectations, or I get higher than the expectation, so that my sal is also higher, or I get a very good fame, and that I am a fantastic employee of this company. So everything seems to have one motive. So, but if the motive or the desire is only that I remember you, Bhagwan, then it will be such a Daivik kind of a prayer rather than the Asuric prayer. So,
Yeah, very beautiful. This is what Krishna again says in Bhagavad Gita, 3 types of tapasya. Same thing. We all can now guess what is the 3 types of tapasya, right? Satvika tapasya, Rajasika tapasya, Tamasika tapasya. So Tamasik tapasya is, tapas is that we put in, continued effort for something, right? For something. And it brings out that what is within me. Okay, when the tapas, that continued effort, is bringing out the true nature within me, that becomes Satvika tapasya, which means the continued effort, and slowly it takes me towards Swadhyaya. Very beautifully in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, tapasya, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana, these 3 itself is a Kriya Yoga. Okay, so it starts with tapasya. So this itself is one sadhana, a complete sadhana by itself. So starts with tapasya. Tapasya is continued effort towards something. So as we are putting in continued effort, it unravels the inner power. Like in the typical Vedantic example is, there is heat in the wood, right? And that heat in the wood, it it comes out before yajna and all. If you see, from that people tree, just by rubbing the wood, they are able to take out that heat, right, as a fire. So there is heat in the wood. That way, to unravel that nature within, to know, that is tapasya. So that is sattvika tapasya. After sattvika tapasya, this one, what Hiranyakashipu has done, again, he performed severe, they say, in sattvika tapasya, many times it is actually the effort that we put in is very less. In the sense, it's not less, it does not tire the person. There is a lot of effort, but it does not tire the person. It is more natural, spontaneous, and it is happening. Okay, the God's will is there. It is like someone had written, like Narasimha standing and Prahalada, like that, he is there for us. In Sattvika Tapasya also, he is there standing. So he is taking all over. So that is Sattvika. But Rajasic Tapasya is, the person who is doing Tapasya also, they, what do you say? He gets tired. The worldly tapas that we all do. Okay. Maybe writing the NEET or, whatever. That's what is coming to my mind now. Whatever, all our efforts that we put in. Okay. One-pointed effort, egocentric. Like what Prabha was saying. Completely to satisfy my ego becomes a Rajasic Tapasya. So Hiranyakashipu, so much. That's why all the Ashura are performing severe tapas. So the fruit of that comes in. So Brahma comes for all the. So that is Rajasic. Rajasa Tapasya is egocentric. Tamasic is another level where, the Tapasya is done for without even thinking of the, repercussions of the Tapasya. Completely, all those, they say black magic, whatever, causing harm to others and ourselves. Those kind of Tapasya are Tamasic. So this is so we can also kind of reflect how much of Sattvika Tapasya, how much of Rajasika Tapasya, and how can I convert, slowly transform this Rajasic Tapasya itself to a Sattvika Tapasya. Yeah, I am in this world, I have to do this, taking care of the family. How can that itself be not a Rajasic Tapasya? How can I transform? How can that be done as a Sattvika Tapasya? That's why Krishna says, okay, surrender everything to me. Everything is God's work, and it becomes Sattvika Tapasya.
There is a funny story actually in this. Okay, maybe some of you would have heard it. It's a story of a very rich merchant. One day there are different versions. So one version is this, that one day he decides that he wants to go and meditate. Okay, so he goes to the forest because he has heard from Siddhis that you should go and meditate only in the forest. So then only you will see Bhagavan. So he understands that and he goes to the forest. He sits under a tree and performs rigorous tapas. He has understood that he has to really make sure that he meditates. So he meditates to a tremendous extent. Finally, Bhagavan comes and then Bhagavan says, okay, I am very, very happy with your dedication. I grant you 3 boons. Okay, this merchant was extremely happy. He rushes to his wife. He says, you know what? We have got 3 boons. So maybe I will mention that I am actually, we are very well contented. No, we seem to have good money and all that. Maybe we'll make sure that this place, this village is well set and all that. Maybe I thought. Then this wife said, what, are you mad, man? You performed so much of difficulty when tapas and all that, and finally you getting 3 boons and you want to waste? Huh? No. What do you do? See, look at our noses. How my nose is. Everyone tells our nose is so bad. My nose is very flat and your nose has a small tilt in the nose. So you use that boon to make sure that we have beautiful noses. Okay. This merchant said, first he tried to convince her, said, leave it off. No, now at this age, why do we need nose and all? Let us use the boon for the benefit of people. She was not at all willing. No, I am sick of this life. This life has not given me anything. What is this? What is the point of these riches? Nothing is used without this nose. I want my nose to be beautiful. And then he said, okay, I think that is, you are right. We need to have beautiful noses. So immediately he chanted that holy mantra and he said, oh Bhagavan, let us have beautiful noses. And suddenly what happened? Both the husband and wife were filled with beautiful noses in the entire body. He did not say that he wanted only one beautiful nose. So he said full body had very beautiful noses, but it all projections entire body. Now they got very, very upset. Arre, what? And then the wife was so upset. You spoiled the one bone, one thing I tell you, that also you can't do it done. And then he says, come on now, at least pray. And then say that we don't want these noses. Okay. And then immediately he closed his eyes and again chanted the mantra, let us have, please remove all the noses. And immediately the present nose also went off, all the other noses also went off. Now they have no nose at all. Hare, okay, please, you pray that let us get back our old nose only. That's all. The third boon was utilized, and finally they prayed and said, please give us back our old nose. That's it. And then they got their old nose. Fantastic boons for what? Okay. So a story is like, where is our attention or where is our prayer moving on to? So this is a funny way of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa giving us an idea that how are our prayers and how are we utilizing the grace of Bhagavan.
And it is also very strongly our identification. When Hiranyakashipu wanted immortality as a boon, it is when we are very strongly identified with the body, we think because of this body, I will pass on. I will not be there when this body does not exist anymore. When I am not in this body anymore, I am mortal, right? The body dies, I die. That is mortality. But when we know that my substratum is Bhagavan himself and he is with me at all point in time, and I live on even after this body is gone because he is there constantly. And when my identified is shifted, then you know that he is, you are immortal. But it's because of that strong identification with the body that he has to feel that he has to ask for the boon of immortality. And he's putting so many, he's thinking he's being very smart, right? Day or night and all possible conditions now I have handled. Okay. But we can also think we have handled all for to be happy, I have thought of everything logically. This should be there, this should be there, that should be there. I should make enough money, I should make an insurance, I should have this, I should do yoga, I should do this, everything I should do so that my body is fit. I go for a walk every day morning and I do this, I do that. And then suddenly some people say, and you fall sick and then you say, but I do yoga. Oh, yoga is no use. It's a big waste because anyway, I have fallen sick. Okay. Without understanding that, what you are doing, but beyond that, there is something that's going to play in your life. Anyway, like that nose, no. We don't know even what we are asking for and what is being granted. I can be asking for something and something that itself could end up with in a different way. Like she said, no, one nose, that nose, I don't know how clearly to ask. And then the whole body is becoming noses, right? So the best thing is, you know best. Whatever, let it be in your way. God, may I be ready to accept everything that you give me and move with that. So if we say that, but here, of course, this is the asura quality, right? When you're strongly, that was very nicely put, no, strongly associated with my ego, this body, and this egocentric is an asura quality within me. If whatever I'm doing, it is for me and myself, my family, my fame, my this thing.
Yeah, we cannot outsmart our creator.
Yes.
Can I just read those 3 Bhagavad Gita shlokas thing? Okay, very nicely he is giving. I'll just read only the meaning, okay? So the threefold or the austerities, that is the threefold, before that Krishna had told the tapasya at the mind level, at the body level and at the speech level. He talks about those 3. And then he says these 3 tapasyas also has can be considered as sattvika when it is practiced by steadfast men with utmost faith, shraddha. That is what, now Aarti was also saying, right? You know the best. That is shraddha. Shraddha, austerity practiced by steadfast men with utmost faith, desiring no fruit. Yes, no expectations. That unconditional love that we hear from, no fruit. That is sattvika. So only two things, shraddha and not desiring for, because the moment I desire something, I think I know what I want. Isn't it? So he only knows. So unlike that child, baby, newborn baby, the mother knows. Just cry. That's all we need to do. And the utmost faith, he will come and give the milk needed. That is Sattvika Tapasya. Rajasika, that we are seeing now, is with the objective of gaining good reception, honor, worship. So I need to be worshipped. That's what, Hiranyakashipa says later also, right? We see in the story. And with hypocrisy, completely with hypocrisy, we lead life, Outside, I may be saying something, inside, completely feeding my ego. So this is Rajasika, and this is also not stable, unstable and transitory. He says the austerity which is practiced with the object of gaining good reception, honor and worship with hypocrisy is Rajasika. So everything is egocentric here. That's the thumb rule. Tamasika, the austerity which is practiced with self-torture out of some foolish notion for the purpose of destroying another is Tamasika. Okay.
The brothers then set out on a conquest of the worlds. The Devas were easily vanquished, and Hiranyaksha, ever desirous of pleasing his brother, set out all by himself in search of new glory. They had been told that Narayana was the Lord of Lords, and they hated him with an inordinate hatred. They felt that the world would all be theirs if only they could destroy this Narayana. Hiranyaksha entered Vibhavari, the city of Varuna, who is the lord of the netherworlds. Hiranyaksha bowed arrogantly in front of Varuna and with mock humility said, "My lord, please grant me the privilege of fighting with me. You are famed for your prowess. In days of yore, you defeated all the Daityas and performed the Rajasuya. Thus you became the ruler of the netherworld. I will be honored by a fight with you." The Asura then laughed boisterously. Varuna controlled his anger and also with mock humility said, "My dear Hiranyaksha, I am old and I have given up fighting since long time ago. The desire to fight has left me. There is only one person who will fight with you willingly and who is capable of giving you a good fight. That is the one, the Lord, the ancient, the great Narayana. Fight with him and you can reach him." Varuna was silent for a while. He added after a pause, "He takes different forms for the sole purpose of destroying evil beings like you. He will rid you of your arrogance, and because of him, you will lie on the field of battle, fit only to be the food for dogs and jackals." I'll continue. Hiranyaksha was highly elated at the thought that Narayana would be willing to give him fight. He ignored the parting words of Varuna. The Asura went round the place and kept on searching for his arch enemy. While he was wandering around, Narada came to him as though he were in a hurry, and coming very near Hiranyaksha, he spoke excitedly, "Hiranyaksha, Hiranya, I was told that you are in search of Narayana, that you want to fight with him and destroy him. Is this true?" "True," exclaimed Hiranyaksha. "Of course it is true. The entire world knows that I have spent years, many of them, looking for this Lord of Lords, as you call him. If only someone will show me where he is hiding, I will be no end grateful to him." "Then you can be grateful to me," said Narada. "I know where he is. That is why I came to rushing to tell you about it. You remember how the earth had been buried in the Rasatala since the great deluge, the Mahapralaya? The Lord wants to re-establish her, and he has now taken the form of a boar to lift her up from the Rasatala. He is even now returning to the surface of the sea with the earth in his arms. Hurry, you catch him and fight with him. Thanking Narada profusely, Hiranyaksha rushed to where the sacred Varaha was. He shouted at him and said, "Listen to me, you beast. You are stupid to think that you can steal this earth and run away while I am looking on. Remember, this earth, she was given by Brahma to us, to those who live in Rasatala. You cannot take her away. You have no right over her. You are a thief. Though you have assumed the form of a boar, I know that you are Narayana, the enemy whom I have been seeking. I have heard all of your achievements. You have managed to cheat us all these years. You kill us with the help of your Maya. Never once have you fought a straightforward battle with any of us. It is for this purpose that the Devas, our dear enemies, call you the Lord of Lords and make much of you? Not anymore. Those days have gone. I am here, and that means that the days of your glory have come to an end. I have found you. I will not let you go without fighting with me. I will today dispatch you to the abode of death and rid the Asuras of the one and only thorn in their path." The voice of arrogance, where you completely forget who is in front of you. The voice of absolutely your, when the egocentric desires come, sometimes they say, we are completely blind to what the thought, what is our manasa, vacha, karmana, every aspect becomes so egocentric. That is why they say the power of thought is very important. We think what we think, so we are, they say, right? As Swami Vivekananda says. But here also, the thought process itself, here in the thought itself, he is hating Narayana. In the thought, so words itself, the Narayana is coming. Action itself, he wants to fight with Narayana. So everywhere, there is only hating the Narayana. But Narayana is there, of course. That becomes a fulcrum point. But he again and again. Anyone, both of you want to say something here? And very beautifully, Varuna also, I was just remembering as a common this thing, that where we need to react or where we need to respond. See, Varuna is a very, very clever guy in that way, I would say. There is somebody is coming and asking you to fight. Out of my own egocentric desire, I would like to prove myself that, I am very strong, I will come and fight with you. But here Varuna is not wanting that. He knows, he has taken a pause. He took a pause. He said, it's not necessary only for me. There is somebody else who really deserves to fight, who really is the person who he needs to fight. So sometimes, these trigger points in our life. A trigger like Hiranyaksha came to Varuna, but Varuna did not take the trigger. That is the beauty of such, being in such a stabilized state. Like Varuna is calm like a river flowing there. Triggers are coming. People are throwing stones. People might make the water dirty. But still the Ganges is clean, unperturbed, absolutely pure and untainted. So that is how it is. So the triggers are constantly coming to our life. If we are like here, like Varuna saying that, Bhai Sahab, sorry, I know I can, right now, I'm not in the mode right now to do this fight. I do not want to do that. So if we take such subtle lessons, it really helps. When people are showing triggers, in family members only, you will see, so many triggers keep coming. It's like you are in a cricket match and constantly the ball is coming and you want to practice ball. The ball is coming, you want to catch it. There is a temptation to catch it and throw it also. We don't want to just catch it and keep it in the pocket. We need to do the serving. We have the temptation there. So, but why the temptation needs to come? We can just take the ball and keep it inside, put it in the basket, store it. It's okay. I don't want to fall into the trigger. Each time when triggers come to me, I think of this ball thing only. So it really helps me to smile off, to just absolutely smile. I remember because just 2 days ago, I went to Gandhi Bazaar to buy some dolls and buying some Ramayana. And there was one scene which was actually Rama giving the ring to Hanuman. And there is another scene where Sita gives Chudamani to Hanuman. Okay. So, but the lady was interchanging the names. So I told her very nicely, actually, this is the Rama giving the ring. You should not write it like that. That is Chudamani. So she said, oh, okay. Then she wrote it. Then during the billing, the father-in-law was standing there and she told him, and he got so angry. He said, huh? Who's asking you to change these names? Huh? Like that, right? He was so, this thing. Okay, you know better than me, madam. I know this. This Ramayana, I know the story. What are you telling me? This is Chudamani. That is this thing. So he was just absolutely jumping. So then I just took this thing. Actually, I felt like smiling and laughing because he said, okay, he wants to prove that he knows the Ramayana. Now, what am I sitting and wanting to prove that hello, Baisab, I also know Ramayana. What is the point? He said, oh, I thought, okay, sorry, sir, I did a mistake. Fine, please do the billing. That's all I need. I need to do the billing and come out. When I told this to my mother-in-law, she was saying, okay, wow, that shows your growth. Looks like that is, you just smiled and came. So that smiling aspect, and so when the trigger is gone, sometimes you feel like you also want to prove. I also know. Here, Varuna also the same. It just makes us realize how these triggers come and how we are falling into these triggers, and how beautifully when we say that it's okay, things will be taken care. And Varuna says to Hiranyaksha, things will be taken care. You go and fight with the main master itself. I'm just a Shishya. So, like that. Anything else?
Oh, very beautiful. The triggers when you said, no, I remembered one that Ramana Maharishi he used to say, it seems, when it is not necessary to put our energy there, okay, surrender. So leave it, just surrender. So in Tamil, he used to say, don't touch the floor, go even under the mat, put your head and surrender, in a very funny way. So somebody had come to the Ramanashrama. Ramanashrama has its own focus, right? Where they are very, it is for a group of sadhakas, each and every ashram, I think they cater to a group of sadhakas who come. So Ramanashrama is, I don't think Ramanar was catering to anybody, but just his presence was created that ashrama. So somebody had come to Ramanashrama, very young youngster, and I don't remember, one disciple of Ramana Maharishi. So he goes and he then, just starts talking to him. What is this? So many problems are there outside and nothing is happening in this ashram. You people are simply sitting here and meditating. There are so many issues there. He just lists down some society issues. Okay. And he says all these things, and you're such irresponsible people just coming out of everything and you're just escaping from all that and sitting here. So that devotee, he just looked at him and then he said, yes, ma, if there is any problem in the family, the head of the family will take care. If there is any problem in the, say, society, police, there are police, which will, if there is thieves, there are in Tiruvannamalai, so many, theft is happening, something like that. Okay. And, what is this ashram doing for that? So for that, he was saying, if something like that is happening, there are police who will take care. Yeah. We here really don't know anything. We really, what you're saying is perfect. We don't do anything here. So complete surrender. He had nothing to tell. He went away. So I think that is the wise way, that time there is no ego. Oh, what will he think if someone from ashram told like this? It sometimes, it need not even be my personal ego. If I'm attached to something, I may think, oh, what will they think about that? So for that, at least I have to talk. So all those things, it confuses our mind. It's okay. If we think that energy is going to be a complete, we can completely surrender and say yes and leave it there. So,
And the surrender came out of strength, not out of fear or weakness.
True.
Not the surrender came. It's not like he's scared to answer. He felt like that it's not required right now. That's it. I think that is it. And Raghuramji always used to tell, because whenever he used to go somewhere and people used to come and argue with him, many atheists and come and argue, and sometimes get very angry. Sometimes the discussion goes. So then I asked him, then what do you do? He says that I just let them talk.
Right.
Now they're in that mode to want to talk. I'll just be there. I'll just smile and hear them. They want to be heard. They want to feel that they are heard and they are right. So now what am I going to say? That okay, I'm sorry, you are wrong, I'm right. So why I should raise my ego? Let them. So that used to strike me a lot, because how where it is required, you talk. Where it is not required, it is you just see that that person is not in a mode right now. So very beautiful.
Yeah.
It's also on an everyday basis. You can even experience with your children. In a way, if you see the children, when they reach a certain age, now their individuality now starts. They want to exercise their individuality. They want to show that it's a very natural progression. It's a natural progression after the age of 18. They want to say, now I want to take my decisions. I've been listening to you all this time. Now I want to take my decision. So sometimes they will even come and say, what you're thinking is not right. What is this? This is the way people nowadays. It is not like this. Now the world is not like this. Okay, all of those things, as though this world, like, whatever, that's the way they know their world, and it is like that. So, but at that time, you can either as a parent, that ego can come up, and you say, what is this? I'm an elder, and you think I don't know. I know more than you. How can you talk like this to an elder? You can either get into that mode or say, okay, this child let him go through his journey. There he'll go through that journey right now. Okay, he's trying to discover himself. He or she is trying to, find out who he or she is. So let's wait and watch and see what happens, right? Or something like that. This kind of a situation you face even with the children at home, and so many people, between two people. One person's ego is high, the other person, if that person goes down, it brings in harmony. If both egos are clashing, gone.
Yeah, with children. So when you were saying, it can sometimes, it need not be from the ego also. It's ego, but then, out of fear, okay, oh, she's thinking like this, I have to correct her. That is another ego only, but then that also comes in as a parent.
Yes.
Let it be with faith. That's why I think that Shraddha, with faith, yeah, they also have their own decisive powers, and they have the power to face life on their own, just like how we all
have.
Yeah.
Everything is God-centered rather than ego-centered. Somebody had written, no? Person called Grace has written that when children come and talk to us, we talk about what all we have done. All we have done, we will remember every single instances. We will be able to remember. So that is the time to correct ourselves. That time, what all we have done. When we start again, it becomes so self-centered. It becomes that kind of self-centered. I mean, not the inner true self-centered. So it becomes very ego-centered there. But the moment we switch the channel, the switch from this side to there, it becomes so fantastic. Then we say that we are not trying to prove to anyone. Varuna is not trying to prove to anyone. Nobody, Narada is also not trying to prove that I am very good. Nothing. So all these beautiful lessons. But you hear Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, when he talks to Prahalada, you will be seeing all those wonderful discussions, dialogues. So how they're always wanting to prove that I am great, I am good, I am mighty, I am like this, I am like this. So everywhere in our conversation how many I's, I remember there is a very beautiful book called the Dalai Lama's Cat. I'm just reading that. So Dalai Lama tells one person, saying that we all seem to be eye specialists. Then that person said, no, sir, I am not eye specialist. I am actually not at all a doctor. He said, no, I'm not talking about that eye specialist. I'm talking about the eye, that eye within you. Everywhere we want to include that eye. I went to the meditation camp. I put this thread around me. I took that initiation. I took this thing. So see, when your conversation with me, this thing, how many eyes have come? So don't you think we are all very eye specialists? So the moment you shift the eye and do, for him, he was always saying that give happiness to others, then you will derive happiness. That was his major teaching approach. Give happiness to others, give happiness to others. So don't look for happiness with your own eyes. Give happiness to others, give happiness to others. So I think that was what he went on telling, and that was that book. It was, the cat was munching upon all these things, that yeah, I think, you know what, I need to look at the give happiness to others. So can I go and cuddle others? Can I go and give love and warmth to others? So that then what happens is, any of these triggers comes, then we are just filled with love and compassion. At that time, this trigger come, you look at the trigger person and then look at that person into a different way. This person is pavam agitated because of maybe some kind of a problem. So you are not self-centered, you look at that person with absolute love and compassion. So here also Varuna knows that he is not the person, he is not triggered by that. He knows that Hiranyaksha is born to be liberated by Narayana. Nicely he says, go to Narayana, you will be free, you will be getting rid of your arrogance, which is the reason for your birth also, right? We know that why is he born also, right? Who is Hiranyaksha? So then Narada comes. Anything here? Anything anyone wants?
Yeah, no, that love, compassion, when you said, so first also we saw, no, we can give only what we have. So this love, compassion, that compassion or the love center, we all are, the center is that only. Yeah, somewhere orbiting and looking outward and looking for that love and compassion. So if we turn that to that center, so we need to keep charging that center. Otherwise, how will that be charged for me to be present in that love and compassion space so that it can be shared to others? Yes, how to still not to bring in ego. Yeah. So I think similar to what you have asked, is that the similar, I don't know if this would answer, otherwise we will. So basically, when we keep charging that we need to fill us, not like, I'm not saying filling from outside or anything, that love, compassion, being centered in that is very important. So how do we do that? That is what is all this, all our sadhana, the be it satsang, be in the presence of sat people, reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or whatever, or praying or doing puja, or serving people with no selfish desires. All those paths are laid out for us, right? The karma, jnana path, whatever is our temperament, take up that, and consistently we need to do that. So when we are in that, when our self-effort is channelized for self-improvement. So here the self is that inner self. Then that happiness center in us is ever active. So when the happiness center is active, only then I am in a position to be compassionate when there is something that comes from outside. I am being able to be in that center. Then that compassion can just flow. Otherwise, like what you have asked, suddenly, I don't know. So Prabha said, right, when she went and shared with the mother-in-law, I said, oh, wow, that is a good. So probably many years back, when you were a teenager, you might have wanted to reply to him. Hello, I also know, right? There are times when I was probably many years back, but that happiness center, having done that, at some point in time, we come to a state where we can be established in that center. When we are in that center, then all these things do not trigger us. We don't want to catch and throw back. So that is very important. That is why the sadhana is important. Yes, sir.
And also in this world, if we look at the world and within us, there is adharma and then there is dharma. What if we had seen even in the earlier creation, the Chatushloki and all that, where our thoughts become our reality, our world. So now, what are my thoughts about? My thoughts are focusing more on the adharma or on the dharma. So what Bala is telling is, fill yourself with all the dharmic, the love, all of that, and make that your focus so much, and what your thoughts because of that, the thoughts will also generate that world for you. If our focus is more on the adharma, more of that will seem to happen to us, because my thoughts create my world, and I will see that more and more of that is happening because my attention is more on the adharma. So fill myself with love and all the dharmic or all the noble virtues, and keep my thoughts in that, and the world will follow, because my world is a creation of my thoughts.
And there's one more very important thing for, I think, for all of us is sometimes when we see our relative or close family members or someone we see in news channels and everything, someone going to the adharmic path, we get very agitated. Why they are going? Why? What is this? Because we are in the God-centered or we are in the path of this, we get sometimes very agitated that somebody else is going the other ways, and there is so much of agitations. And I remember people coming and telling me that today, Prabha, this happened and I am unable to sleep, my heart is beating, can we do yoga nidra? So because we are upset that why can't that person be good, Prabha? Why that person is being so mean and cruel? So when we see that some which is not even related to me, some adharmic acts are happening through someone, and that is the time also very beautifully mother and others say that is the time, instead of getting agitated over all these things, just pray that, oh Bhagavan, I know you are doing, this is all your Leela here. Something and all is happening, your Leela here. Let there be. So that is why we have these prayer, no? Sahana Bunaktu. We have this, last we pray this, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya. May we see everyone auspicious. May everyone be free of diseases. May everywhere let there dukkham be, there be no suffering. So that is where we need to keep praying like that, rather than getting agitated if some adharmic thing happening. So that it brings about harmony within us, and we are not questioning the choreography of Bhagavan there. We are not at all questioning why he has to be adharmic, why it has to happen like this, why this is so much of time our energies goes into that. Instead of that, we are saying that, okay, I know you are taking care.
And what we are calling as adharma is also the way I am looking at it. Okay, now when I look at Hiranyaksha, he went and he did all of this. He went and picked up a fight, and he is a Rakshasa, he is a Daitya, all that. And then when we see the whole background of Hiranyaksha, he was the gatekeeper of Lord Mahavishnu in Vaikunta. And because of one small that ego arising, the higher you go, the spiritual ego, you have to really be very careful, otherwise you can drop really badly. Okay, so and because of that drop, he has taken this, and again he is thinking of the Lord through his hate. He is going to be killed by the Lord. So who is the greater being? I am judging this person as adharmic. By me judging this person as adharmic, who is adharmic? A lot of questions.
It's only me, actually.
I'm judging another person. So we don't know the life cycle of another person. They are influenced by their vasanas. I am influenced by my vasanas. The only person who is under my control is me. And I can I can take control over is myself. And the only way to do that is through surrender. That Mandhara is happening. Let that Kurma Avatara come there. Support, call him. That's why you feed the love and all that, because that quality will help you remember him at the right time. Those qualities that you have fed, seek his grace and move on. I don't know whether this is dharma, this is adharma, this is my prarabdha karma. It was needed to happen in my life for me to learn something. Oh God, your wish. I will go with it.
Yeah, actually, see, we can do that right away here. Okay, we are thinking, okay, whatever we read first, he shouted at him and said, listen to me, you be stupid, to think that you can steal this earth and run away. This we read, right? Now, imagine Hiranyaksha, now he has come as one of the Jaya Vijaya, okay, and he is such a great jiva, okay, and now Hiranyaksha is wanting from within wanting to die at the hands of Narayana. Okay, imagine like that. Now have that judgment of Hiranyaksha in our mind. Let us all have that judgment of Hiranyaksha in the mind, not the evil. Forget the outer action that he does. Within him, he wants Narayana to come and kill so that the first janma gets over. He is in a hurry to go back to Vaikuntha. Okay, he wants to go to the next janma. So the first janma, he now wants to see Narayana. He wants to get killed. Okay, with that, we can read this. See? Now Hiranyaksha is thinking like that, and now he looks at Narayana. So inside he must be very happy. Okay. So he's saying, listen to me, you beast. You are stupid to think you can steal this earth and run away while I am looking on. Remember, she was given by Brahma to us, to those who live in Rasatala. You cannot take her away. You have no right over her. He is now expressing all his anger of separation, maybe. You are a thief. Though you have assumed the form of a boar, I know that you are Narayana. See, he says that I know you are that Narayana. So imagine he's waiting. You have come now. The enemy whom I have been seeking. So this only, so this sentence is enough for us to think, okay, maybe Hiranyaksha knew, that. So maybe he was waiting for this janma to get over. So we cannot judge people from their outside actions. It is, who knows what they are going through. And
every single person is an ancient jiva.
Yeah. So,
and we don't know why that jiva is acting in a certain way in this janma. The only thing I can say is some actions are disturbing me. So how can I take control over that? By surrendering to that. That's it.
That two things they say, even Patanjali says, Upeksha, just ignore. Yeah, do not feed that into our mind. If I can do something about it, okay, then maybe I have to be an instrument and I have something to do there. Do. If I cannot do anything, Upeksha, just, not ignore. What do they say? It's not ignoring.
Indifference.
Indifference. Be indifferent to it and pray. That's all.
Be equanimous to it. It's not easy, but
yeah, indifference is absolute no judgment whether that is correct or wrong. I'm not feeding that and completely surrender to Bhagavan. He knows the best. Yeah. Like Swamiji says, Aparajitananda, the moment I think something in the world outside is not perfect, know that the mind has gone into Chanchala. Bring the mind back to, so the entire world is perfect because it is done by that omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent Bhagwan. Okay, I am this little being having absolutely no idea about this entire thing. So I cannot say something is imperfect. If at all something is imperfect, it is me, within me, something is imperfect, which has to be changed or whatever.
If you see this, you are a thief. You also see in his last incarnation, Shishupala also comes and tells what all things to Krishna in the Rajasuya. Some yajna happens, right? Rajasuya.
Yeah, Rajasuya yajna, correct.
Yeah, and he says, no, you are a thief. You are a cowherd. You are a thief. You are like this. And then again, we see there is so much of hurry to finish off all the 100 more than 100 things. So that it's the last incarnation, and you are in a hurry to finish it off and go and fall at the feet of Bhagavan and say, finally, I've done my 3 births done over. So.
Even Ravana, right? He doesn't listen to any of their counsel. He, in fact, gets angry that they are advising. Maybe, that anger in him, we can look at it as, I don't want to get confused. Okay, I will do all this so that Hari comes and takes me.
That's it. So because so many people comes and counsels Ravana. Actually, this is one of the incarnation where you don't see Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu getting consoled by so many people. Only Hiranyakashipu, of course, Prahalada tries. But when you see Ravana, there are so many people, even these mini Rakshasas who go along with Vibhishana, they come back and say, "Arey, Ravana, don't you know who? That is Narayana himself who's come." So many people give him reminder. Even then, if you think that there is such a, that he is unable to get it, so it is for a purpose. So when we say that we have people around us and they seem to be blinded, we should think that it is because of the Leela of Bhagavan that they were supposed to be blinded right now. Who are we to judge that he is blind, not blind, he is arrogant, not arrogant? No, we just pray. That's it. And what do we pray? We pray a Daivik type of prayer, not the Asuric type of the prayer, not the Tamasic type of a prayer. I think that is where this class, I think today is so God-centric. So very beautifully it has become the importance of how we are, clutched by the Maya of ego.
We have more. How much more is there here?
I want to see.
So I don't think we can really finish the chapter today. So I'd like to present a song. It's okay. So we are, when we say we are egocentric, it's because of a strong identification with our body. I need everything to comfort this body. I need a comfortable bed. I need a comfortable living because, and I need all the right people because I'm again connected with my emotions and my feelings. I need somebody to make me feel good. And all these are egocentric desires which are connected with largely this body. And then Purandaradasa presents this song saying, why are you so identified with your body? Because this body is going to rot, it's going to have diseases, it's going to, all of that. And your identification with this body is no use, and putting all your efforts and mind into just catering to this body and these emotions is no use. The only thing that you have to do is cater to that. Think about the Lord and act on the path of Dharma. So I'll just like to present that song. I thought it was relevant with this, and it's one of my, it's in Revati Raga, and I love the song also. Manuja Sharira Vido Yenu Sukha. What is the Sukha in this Manuja Sharira? Manuja Sharira Vido Yenu Sukha. Yenu sukha, idu yenu sukha. Yenu sukha, idu yenu sukha. Manuja sharira vitu yenu sukha. Dina dina shishrushe. We need to treat this body all the time. It can fall sick. Gana gana roga gano falls. That roga keeps hitting it. Dina dina sisrushe. Gana gana roga gano anubhavisuvadu edu yenu sukha. What is the fun in experiencing these things? Anubhavisuvadu edu yenu sukha. Manuja sharira vido yenu sukha. And then pari pari vitagali papa kalisida narakake biluvadu yenu sukha. If you don't try to remove the negative vasanas, the papa within you, and then what is the point of going into naraka? Pari pari vitagali papa kalisida narakake biluvadu yenu sukha. Purandara vithalana Purandara vithalana manadulu neneyuta. Just think of Purandara Vithala and walk the path of Dharma. Purandara Vithalana ಸುಖ ಧರ್ಮದೊಳು ನಡೆದರೆಯಾಗ ಸುಖ ಮನುಜ ಶರೀರವಿತು ಏನು ಸುಖ ಏನು ಸುಖ ಇದು ಏನು ಸುಖ ಮನುಜ ಶರೀರವಿದು ಮನುಜ ಶರೀರವಿದು ಮನುಜ ಶರೀರವಿದು ಏನು ಸುಖ May we all keep Purandara Vithala, the Lord, O Bhagavan, in our heart and walk the path of Dharma, because the true Sukha is only in that. We will chant Om Namo Narayanaya for 16 times. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Om Asato ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bad bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.